Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a joint that's been heated up too much. As you can see, this tubing right here, it's really dark. That's because somebody used either the wrong torch, probably oxy-acetylene, and that's always going to make it black like that. Or they used an acetylene torch and he left it on there too long, and it severely overheated it. You can't change that color once it changes the color of the copper. It also causes carbon to build up inside the tube. And it transfers the heat down the tube to the joint. It cracks the joint. This joint can only withstand 350 degrees. So if you have 3,000, 6,000 degrees on this copper tube, it's going to heat up this tube all the way down to the joint. It's going to melt the joint and crack it, and it's going to leak. So you have to use heat transfer paste that you wrap around the tube. That way the heat up here will not transfer through the paste and get here. This will still remain cool because it will not go through the heat transfer paste. Okay? So when these technicians don't use the heat transfer paste and put it on here, they think I've done it hundreds of times. Well, then they not only do this, discolor with the wrong torch, but then they melt this joint, and then it can be fixed. And this is how you fix it. It's really simple. It takes about 2 minutes to do, maybe even less than that. Okay? So what we're going to do is bring this up so you can see it really well. And you're going to take your flux. This is called Super Alloy 1 Flux. And it's Super Alloy 1 filler rod. There's two sizes. This is the smaller size. You're going to take this. I have an old bottle of this, so I'm going to use the old bottle of flux. I'm going to put this in here and get flux on the rod. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to get this all coated, liberally coated with flux. Okay? Now you can take and sand this with emery cloth before you start. It's probably not a bad idea, but this flux has a cleaner in it as well. So I always like to do, I already sanded it just because I like to go overboard because I don't want to have to do it over again. Okay? So then take your heat gun. The heat guns are, this one is 572 to 932. On setting 2 it's 932. So I'm going to go on setting 2. I'm going to heat this up and I'm going to keep putting flux on this. I'm not really going to be adding filler metal. I'm going to try not to do that because there's already filler metal in there. You can see it. Okay? And I don't want to displace this filler metal. So I'm going to put flux on it. Just barely touch the droplets and put flux on it as I'm heating it. So it'll soften up the joint. It'll get wet. The filler metal gets soft and wet. And when it gets hot enough, it's going to turn honey brown when it's hot enough. This flux will. And it's going to soften the joint up, and then this is going to cause it to re-bond that filler metal together where the crack is, and the crack will be gone, and it will reset and cure, and then your leak will be gone. So here we go. And what I do is I always heat it from below the joint, okay? Because heat rises. Don't heat it right on the joint either, just below it. Okay? So we're going to heat this up until the flux turns to honey brown, and you start to see that joint, that filler metal soften up and get kind of liquefied. And I'll actually touch it so that you can actually see it on the video when it gets to that point. I'm going to go ahead and add some flux before it gets too soft. Okay, it's starting to see how it's bubbling. It's going to start turning honey brown here pretty quick. And then this joint's going to soften up. It's starting to soften up. As it softens up, I want to go around on the outside all the way around, and I want to put flux on there because I want it to seal, because this flux actually causes it to, it cleans it, it causes it to seal and bond, and re-seal and re-bond. Okay, see how soft it's getting? Okay, and you put some more flux, and when it's hot, you have to, I touch it a little bit higher so the flux will drop down sometimes. When the rod is hot, you have to dip it in and dip it in and dip it in and dip it in to cool it down before you can get the place. See that flex? Okay? Go all the way around. Leave it on there for a couple seconds below the joint and then stop. That's it. You're done. And you can see the joint. Normally I wouldn't move it, but I'm doing it for video's sake. See, there's no cracks in it. It's sealed. Okay, you see that joint? So that's how easy it is. It takes literally 2 minutes to do. And you're done. That's it. Okay. Once again, it's Michael Riley. Thank you.